Your body has a redemption cycle you've never been told about. Every single night when you enter deep sleep, your human organism activates a cleaning protocol that's literally revolutionary. Your lymphatic system flushes your brain of metabolic waste. Your liver dumps accumulated toxins. Your intestines reset. Your immune system rebuilds itself from the ground up. This isn't wellness mythology. This is measurable neurobiology happening in real time while you're unconscious. But here's what medicine refuses to tell you. You can amplify this entire redemption cycle with one simple action before you close your eyes. An action that costs pennies. A ritual that, when synced with your body's natural cleaning window, transforms your physiology while you sleep. I'm talking about warm water. And I'm talking about the exact biological mechanism. Not folklore, not Instagram trends, but the precise molecular biochemistry that explains why this works. The thermal catalysis of digestive enzymes, the hydration-triggered lymphatic pumps, the melatonin synthesis pathways, the exact science your body is designed to use but nobody's teaching you. Tonight, you could trigger a complete digestive reset by morning. Deeper sleep than you've experienced in years. Measurable immune amplification. Accelerated toxin clearance at the hepatic level. Enhanced brain waste removal. Gut-brain axis optimization. Systemic inflammation reduction. All because you synced thermal hydration with your body's most powerful healing window. This is what separates people who understand their biology from people who just follow trends. Now, before I move ahead and explain exactly what warm water does to your body when you take it before sleep, I need you to do something. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do it right now. Hit that button. Because the information I'm about to share with you is the kind of biological truth that gets buried by algorithms designed to push pharmaceutical ads and supplement sponsorships instead of free solutions that actually work. And here's what I need you to understand. You're not the only senior who's been failed by surface-level health advice. You're not the only one waking up with stiff joints, brain fog, and a body that feels 10 years older than it should. Someone you know is struggling with the exact same symptoms, spending money on pills and protocols that never address the real problem. Your spouse, your sibling, your neighbor, your friend from church who keeps complaining about their sleep. Share this video with them right now. Not later, not after you finish watching, right now. Because later means never. And they deserve to know what their doctor isn't telling them about their body's nightly cleaning cycle. Do that for me, and more importantly, do that for them. Now let me show you exactly what happens when warm water enters your system at night. Let me explain what happens the moment warm water enters your system at night, because this is where biology becomes leverage. Your digestive tract has been accumulating residue all day. Partially digested proteins, fermented carbohydrates, bile salts, mucus, dead epithelial cells sloughing off your intestinal lining. This isn't pathology. This is normal metabolic debris that your body is designed to clear during the fasting window between dinner and breakfast. But here's the problem. Without adequate hydration and thermal activation, that debris just sits there, stagnant, fermenting, releasing endotoxins into your bloodstream while you sleep. Warm water changes the entire equation. The temperature matters because heat is a mechanical catalyst. When you introduce warm liquid into your stomach before sleep, you're not just hydrating, you're activating peristalsis at a cellular level. The smooth muscle tissue lining your digestive tract responds to thermal stimulation by initiating wave-like contractions that physically push accumulated waste through your system. This is measurable motility, not a cleanse, not a detox trend. Literal mechanical clearance of your gastrointestinal sewer system while your conscious mind is offline. But the real transformation happens in your liver. Between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., your liver enters what's called the hepatic detoxification window. This is when your body's primary filtration organ processes the backlog of metabolic waste it's been storing in hepatocytes all day long. Alcohol metabolites, pharmaceutical residues, environmental toxins, oxidized lipids, ammonia from protein breakdown. Your liver packages all of this cellular garbage into bile and attempts to dump it into your intestines for elimination. Here's where most people fail without knowing it. If your system is dehydrated during this hepatic dump, the bile becomes too thick, too viscous, too concentrated. It moves sluggishly through your bile ducts, or worse, it stagnates entirely. And when bile stagnates, those toxins your liver just worked to package and eliminate, they get reabsorbed back into your bloodstream. You wake up with brain fog, headaches, stiff joints, a coated tongue, puffy face. These aren't mysterious symptoms. This is hepatic recirculation. Your body is literally repoisoning itself with waste it already filtered once because you didn't give it the hydration medium to flush the system clean. Warm water before sleep is the biological solution to hepatic recirculation. When you hydrate strategically at night, you're diluting bile acids and increasing bile flow velocity through your biliary tree. You're giving your liver the aqueous medium it needs to complete the dump cycle. The toxins get bound, they get packaged, they get moved into your intestines. And because you've already activated peristalsis with thermal stimulation, those toxins don't just sit in your colon fermenting. They get mechanically cleared by morning. This is why people who adopt this protocol wake up with flatter stomachs, clearer skin, sharper cognition. They're not bloated with yesterday's metabolic backlog. Now let's talk about your lymphatic system, because this is where the waste story gets even more critical. Your body has a second circulatory system that nobody thinks about. It's called the lymphatic system, and it's essentially your body's sewer network. While your blood delivers oxygen and nutrients, your lymph collects cellular waste, dead immune cells, damaged proteins, and interstitial fluid from your tissues, and transports it to filtration nodes where it gets processed and eliminated. But here's the catch. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. Your heart pumps blood. But lymph? Lymph only moves when you move, when your muscles contract, or when hydrostatic pressure shifts fluid through the vessels. At night, you're not moving. You're unconscious, horizontal, immobile for 6 to 8 hours. This means your lymphatic system is at its slowest flow state right when your body is trying to do its deepest cleaning. Lymph stagnates in your tissues. Waste accumulates. Inflammation builds. And when you wake up, you feel it. Puffy eyes, swollen fingers, stiff neck, creaky joints. That's not aging. That's lymphatic stagnation. That's your sewer system backing up because it didn't have the pressure or the medium to flush overnight. Warm water creates internal hydrostatic pressure. When you drink warm liquid before bed, you're increasing total body water volume, which raises the pressure gradient inside your vascular and lymphatic systems. This pressure physically forces stagnant lymph out of tissues and into circulation. You're manually pumping your sewer system without moving a muscle. And because the water is warm, it dilates your lymphatic vessels slightly, reducing resistance and allowing accumulated waste to flow more freely toward your lymph nodes for filtration. This is thermal lymphatic activation, and it's happening while you sleep. Your body is already programmed to clear waste at night. The lymphatic system is flushing beta-amyloid plaques out of your brain during deep sleep. Your liver is dumping toxins during the hepatic window. Your gut is resetting motility patterns during the fasting state. But all of these processes require one universal input: water. Not just any water, warm water. Because temperature accelerates every single phase of waste clearance. You're not adding a chemical. You're not taking a supplement. You're not following a biohack. You're syncing hydration with biology's existing cleaning schedule and letting your body do what it was already designed to do. You're removing the bottleneck. You're subtracting the interference. You're giving your night shift the single resource it needs to complete the job. And when you wake up, you'll feel the difference in your gut, your head, and your energy. Because you didn't just sleep, you cleaned house. Your sleep quality isn't just about how many hours you log. It's about whether your brain can manufacture the neurochemistry required to drop you into the restorative phases where actual healing happens. And most people are biochemically locked out of deep sleep without even knowing why. The problem starts with cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, but it's also your wakefulness hormone. It's supposed to peak in the morning to get you out of bed and taper off by evening so melatonin can take over. Melatonin is your sleep hormone, synthesized by your pineal gland when darkness signals the end of the day. But here's what derails the entire system. Dehydration keeps cortisol elevated at night. When your body is running on insufficient water, it interprets that as a survival threat, a stressor. And stressed organisms don't sleep deeply. They stay alert. They keep cortisol circulating. They suppress melatonin synthesis because the biochemistry of survival overrides the biochemistry of rest. This is the cortisol-melatonin antagonism that's stealing your deep sleep every single night. When you drink warm water before bed, you're sending a physiological safety signal to your hypothalamus. Hydration tells your brain that resources are abundant, that the environment is stable, that it's safe to downregulate the stress response and shift into parasympathetic dominance. Your adrenal glands stop pumping cortisol. Your pineal gland starts converting serotonin into melatonin, and your brain finally gets the neurochemical permission slip to enter slow-wave sleep, the phase where growth hormone gets released, where memories get consolidated, where your lymphatic system opens up and flushes metabolic waste out of your neural tissue. You're not just falling asleep faster, you're accessing the sleep architecture that actually rebuilds your brain. And while your brain is busy cleaning house, your immune system is doing something even more extraordinary. Most people think immunity is about avoiding germs or taking vitamin C when they feel a cold coming on. But your immune system is a 24-hour construction site, and the night shift is when the real building happens. While you sleep, your body ramps up the production of cytokines, the signaling proteins that coordinate immune responses. It increases the proliferation of T cells, the assassins that hunt down infected or cancerous cells. It amplifies the activity of natural killer cells, your first line of defense against pathogens and tumors. This isn't passive rest. This is active immune amplification happening at the cellular level while you're unconscious. But immune construction requires raw materials, and the most critical raw material is water. Your white blood cells are manufactured in your bone marrow and released into circulation through your bloodstream and lymphatic system. But if you're dehydrated, your blood becomes viscous, thick, slow-moving. Your lymph stagnates, and the newly created immune cells can't get distributed efficiently to the tissues where they're needed. You're building an army, but the supply lines are clogged. The reinforcements never reach the battlefield, and you wake up with a suppressed immune system, even though your body spent all night trying to rebuild it. Warm water before sleep changes the fluid dynamics entirely. Hydration thins your blood. It accelerates lymphatic flow. It creates the aqueous highways your immune cells need to travel from bone marrow to lymph nodes to peripheral tissues. And because you're hydrating at night, right when immune production peaks, you're syncing your input with your body's output. You're giving your system exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. This is why people who adopt this protocol stop getting sick as often, why they recover faster when they do get sick, why their inflammation markers drop. They're not boosting immunity with supplements. They're removing the hydration bottleneck that was suppressing immunity all along. Now let's connect this to your brain chemistry, because this is where the gut-brain axis becomes impossible to ignore. 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in your gut, not your brain, your gut. Serotonin is your mood molecule, your energy molecule, your mental clarity molecule. It regulates everything from your emotional baseline to your motivation to your ability to focus under pressure. But serotonin synthesis doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in the enterochromaffin cells lining your intestinal wall, and those cells are extraordinarily sensitive to their local environment. When your gut is backed up with stagnant waste, when bile is sluggish, when partially digested food is fermenting in your colon, your enterochromaffin cells are swimming in endotoxins, lipopolysaccharides, inflammatory cytokines, microbial metabolites that signal danger. And when those cells perceive a hostile environment, they don't prioritize serotonin production. They prioritize survival signaling, inflammation, stress responses. Your gut-brain axis shifts from growth mode to defense mode, and your neurotransmitter output crashes. This is why people with chronic gut issues have depression, anxiety, brain fog, low motivation. It's not psychological, it's neurobiological. Their gut is too dirty to manufacture the neurochemistry required for mental health. Warm water before sleep clears the contamination. By facilitating the complete digestive reset we talked about earlier, you're removing the endotoxic load that's suppressing serotonin synthesis. You're flushing the bile, clearing the residue, restoring a clean intestinal environment where enterochromaffin cells can do their job. And when those cells aren't under siege, they ramp up serotonin production. That serotonin gets released into your bloodstream. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. It gets converted into melatonin at night for deeper sleep. And during the day, it fuels your mood, your energy, your cognitive performance. You don't need antidepressants, you need a clean gut. And here's the feedback loop that makes this protocol so powerful. When you sleep deeper because of improved melatonin synthesis, your brain clears more waste through the lymphatic system. When your brain clears more waste, your neuroinflammation drops. When neuroinflammation drops, your HPA axis regulates cortisol more effectively. When cortisol regulates properly, melatonin synthesis improves even further. When melatonin improves, immune function amplifies. When immune function amplifies, gut inflammation decreases. When gut inflammation decreases, serotonin production skyrockets. Every system feeds every other system, and the entry point is hydration. This is why 1 glass of warm water before bed creates cascading improvements across multiple organ systems. You're not treating symptoms. You're removing the bottleneck that was strangling your entire biochemistry. You're letting your neurology, and your immunology, and your gut-brain axis finally work the way they were designed to work. And when that happens, you don't just sleep better, you think clearer, you feel lighter, you move through your day with energy reserves you forgot you had. Because your biology isn't fighting itself anymore, it's building itself. One night at a time. Your body doesn't malfunction randomly. Every symptom you experience is a signal, a message from your biology telling you that something upstream is stalled. The headache isn't the problem. The brain fog isn't the problem. The joint pain, the skin breakouts, the afternoon energy crash, the stubborn weight around your midsection. None of these are the actual problem. They're smoke. And smoke always points to fire. The fire is stagnation. Internal stagnation is the root cause that modern medicine refuses to address because it can't be fixed with a prescription. You can't pharmaceutical your way out of a backed-up lymphatic system. You can't medicate away bile that's too thick to flow. You can't supplement your way through a colon full of fermenting waste. These are mechanical problems, not chemical deficiencies. And mechanical problems require mechanical solutions. This is the paradigm shift that separates people who get results from people who stay stuck. Most people are trapped in addition thinking. They think health comes from adding more. More supplements, more superfoods, more biohacks, more adaptogens and nootropics and probiotics stacked on top of each other in an ever-growing protocol that costs hundreds of dollars a month and requires a spreadsheet to manage. And maybe some of those things help at the margins. But they're optimizing a system that's fundamentally clogged. You're trying to boost a biology that's drowning in its own waste. It's like trying to make a car go faster when the exhaust pipe is blocked. The problem isn't lack of fuel. The problem is the inability to clear what's already there. Subtraction is the strategy you've been missing. Your body already knows how to heal itself. It already has the detoxification pathways, the immune protocols, the cellular repair mechanisms, the neurochemical balance. All of that is built into your DNA. It's been running autonomously since the day you were born. But those systems only function when waste can exit the organism, when bile can flow, when lymph can drain, when your gut can clear, when your brain can flush metabolic debris during sleep. The moment any of those drainage pathways get blocked, the entire system backs up. Toxins recirculate, inflammation spreads, symptoms cascade, and you interpret that cascade as disease when it's actually just plumbing. The protocol you need isn't complex. It's not a 47-step morning routine, or a restrictive elimination diet, or a $3,000 functional medicine panel. It's 1 glass of warm water before you close your eyes at night. That's it. That's the entry point. Because that single action removes the bottleneck that's been choking every other healing process in your body. Here's exactly how to implement it. 1 hour before bed, drink 8 to 12 ounces of warm water. Not cold. Not room temperature. Warm. The temperature should be comfortable to drink, but noticeably above body heat. You're aiming for thermal activation, not scalding. This isn't tea. This isn't lemon water. This isn't some mystical elixir. It's just clean, warm water. No additives, no distractions, just hydration synced with your biology's cleaning schedule. When you drink it, you're doing 4 things simultaneously. You're hydrating your system right before the hepatic detoxification window opens, giving your liver the aqueous medium it needs to complete the bile dump without recirculation. You're activating peristalsis in your digestive tract mechanically clearing residue that would otherwise ferment overnight and poison your gut-brain axis. You're raising hydrostatic pressure in your lymphatic system, forcing stagnant fluid out of tissues and into circulation for filtration. And you're lowering cortisol while enabling melatonin synthesis, removing the biochemical brake on deep sleep so your lymphatic system can flush your brain. 4 systemic upgrades from one behavioral input. This is leverage. This is how biology works when you stop fighting it and start supporting it. You don't need to understand every receptor pathway or enzyme cascade to get results. You just need to remove the interference. Your night shift has been trying to clean your system for years, but you've been starving it of the one resource it needs to complete the job. Water, warmth, timing. That's the triad. And once you give your body what it's been asking for, the transformation is automatic. You'll notice it in the morning. Your stomach will be flatter because your colon actually emptied instead of holding on to yesterday's waste. Your face will look less puffy because your lymph drained instead of stagnating in your tissues overnight. Your mind will be sharper because your lymphatic system flushed neurotoxic debris out of your brain during deep sleep. Your mood will be more stable because your gut produced serotonin in a clean environment instead of an inflamed one. Your energy will be higher because your mitochondria aren't spending resources fighting recirculated toxins. These aren't subtle changes. This is visceral, measurable, day-one feedback from your biology. And the longer you run the protocol, the deeper the effects compound. Because every night your body clears waste more efficiently, the next day starts with less inflammatory load. Less inflammation means better nutrient absorption. Better absorption means more raw materials for cellular repair. More repair means stronger immune function. Stronger immunity means fewer infections and faster recovery. Faster recovery means less chronic stress. Less stress means better sleep. Better sleep means enhanced waste clearance. And the cycle reinforces itself. This is what it looks like when you stop managing symptoms and start addressing the system. You're not treating your headache, you're draining your brain. You're not fixing your gut, you're clearing your gut. You're not boosting your energy, you're removing the toxic drag that was stealing your energy in the first place. Subtraction, drainage, flow. These are the principles that govern every high-functioning biological system, and you've been ignoring them in favor of addition strategies that were never going to work. Tonight you have a choice. You can keep adding supplements and hoping something finally clicks. You can keep blaming your genetics or your age or your stress levels for why you feel the way you feel. Or you can recognize that your body has been trying to clean itself every single night, and you've been dehydrating the process into failure. 1 glass of warm water, 1 hour before bed, every night. Let your night shift do its job. Let your liver dump without recirculating. Let your gut reset without fermenting. Let your lymph drain without stagnating. Let your brain flush without accumulating plaques. Let your immune system build without suppression. Let your serotonin synthesis skyrocket in a clean intestinal environment. Your biology knows what to do. It's been waiting for you to get out of the way. Stop adding chemistry, start subtracting waste, and watch what your body does when you finally give it the conditions it needs to heal itself. The protocol is simple. The results are not. Now you know something that most people will never learn. You understand why your body has been stalling. You understand the fire behind the smoke. You understand that the solution was never about adding more supplements or chasing the next wellness trend. It's about subtracting waste, clearing the system, letting your night shift finally do the job it was designed to do. But here's the uncomfortable truth I need to leave you with. Knowing isn't the same as doing, and watching isn't the same as changing. Thousands of seniors will see this video today. They'll nod along. They'll feel that spark of recognition when I describe their symptoms. They'll think to themselves, this makes sense. This explains everything. And then they'll close this video. Scroll to the next distraction. Go to bed dehydrated tonight. Wake up tomorrow with the same stagnation, the same inflammation, the same backed-up biology they've been dragging around for years. Don't be that person. Tonight, you have one assignment. 1 glass of warm water, 1 hour before bed. That's it. That's the entire protocol. No excuses, no delays, no, I'll start Monday. Your liver is dumping toxins tonight, whether you support the process or not. Your lymph is trying to drain whether you give it the medium or not. Your brain is attempting to flush waste whether you hydrate the lymphatic system or not. The only question is whether you'll help or hurt the process. Now let me ask you something personal. Did this video help you? Did something click that never clicked before? Did you finally understand why you've been feeling the way you've been feeling, despite doing everything the doctors told you to do? If the answer is yes, then you owe me nothing. But you owe someone else everything. Think about the senior in your life who's suffering right now. The one who can't sleep through the night. The one complaining about gut problems and brain fog and joints that ache for no reason. The one who's spending their retirement money on medications that manage symptoms but never fix the root cause. Your husband, your wife, your brother or sister, your best friend. The neighbor who asks you for health advice because they trust you more than their doctor. They need this video. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, while it's still fresh in your mind. Pull out your phone, send them the link, share it to your Facebook, text it to your family group chat. Because the algorithm won't show them this video. The system is designed to keep them buying, not healing. You are the only distribution channel that matters. And if this information helped you, imagine what it could do for someone who's been struggling longer than you have. Someone who's given up hope. Someone who thinks this is just what aging feels like. It's not. And you can prove it to them. Share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And turn on notifications. Because what I'm releasing next goes even deeper into the biological mechanisms that separate seniors who thrive from seniors who just survive. The vagus nerve reset, the fascia hydration protocol, the cortisol pattern that's aging you faster than your years. But you'll only see those videos if you subscribe. Otherwise, the algorithm buries me, and you go back to getting served pharmaceutical ads and symptom management content that keeps you sick and spending. That's not what I want for you, and I don't think it's what you want for yourself. So subscribe, share, and tonight, drink the water. Your body has been waiting for permission to heal itself. You just gave it that permission. Now let the night shift do its job.